Okay, Google, you gotta stop watching Samsung. You gotta do something original. Maybe instead of copying Apple's hardware and Samsung's marketing, copy something good, maybe, for once? Okay, let's just jump into the rant. Here we go. So before we get into the complications I have with this commercial that not a lot of people will be addressing, but I feel the need to address it because I'm getting frustrated with this type of advertising. And I could probably follow up some of the complaints we got on the last rant video about Samsung's advertising. But let me first clarify, this commercial is not as bad as Samsung's because at least at the end of the commercial, they show you what they are advertising. It's not a good product, and even YouTubers who love the Pixel brand could not enjoy the Pixelbook. At least they showed it. Okay, we gotta give credit where credit is due. We gotta say that this ad is not as bad as some of the ingenious ads because those did not even show a single image of the phone they wanted you to check out. It was literally all about the iPhone and that was it. This one is definitely completely directed at Windows as well as macOS, which to me is very hypocritical because both of these operating systems can do so much more than Chrome OS, which is why if you're gonna advertise a Chromebook, advertise the things it is good at, not the things that suck about the competition, because if you want to bring this down to a list of features of which software can do more than the other, Google, you should never be bringing up Mac OS. I've read internal articles. Most people at Google use Macs to code the software at Google. You can ask for a PC specifically, but most of you're not using Chromebooks to write your own code. Marketing department, did you edit this video on a Chromebook? I don't think you can. I don't think that's actually possible with the apps that are presently available. They had to literally have a Mac or a PC that they edited this commercial on, which is about how bad Macs and PCs get. So this ad basically highlights, isn't it annoying when your Apple computer is loading, is buffering something, and the mouse turns into that rainbow wheel? Or on your PC when there are pop-ups and complaints and viruses you now get? While I may agree with you, I would never on any day of the week choose to take a Chromebook over a Windows 10 device. The Pixelbook was selling so bad, that's why Google was trying to redesign the Pixelbook so that you could put Windows 10 on it if you so desired, because the apps for the Chromebook were so barren, and blown up Android apps on the Pixelbook did not run well. It's the reason Android died on tablets. And I'm not trying to say that Chromebooks are completely useless and they're complete garbage. I'm just trying to say they have a specific market, and it's a really bad idea to try to compare a Chromebook to even a budget laptop or even a budget MacBook. Like what's a budget MacBook? Is there such a thing? Either way, there's 100 budget PCs out there, budget laptops, that even when they're slow, you can still download certain games and certain apps that work for them pretty well. Windows 10 is one of the most popular operating systems in the entire world. They support things like Steam and Origin and Epic Games. And what's the recommendation they bring up in this one when they're closing the Pixelbook? Oh yeah, you can play PUBG. You should buy our $1,000 notebook because it can run PUBG mobile. But you know, either way, this is not the type of marketing you want to be doing, Google. Okay, look, Windows 10 and macOS, they actually have programs on them made by third parties that have acknowledged that this is hardware that we can attempt to utilize. Adobe, they're trying, I guess, but for Windows, they're a great choice. Apple actually builds pro apps that they make specifically for their hardware. This is why I like them so much. They make software that's optimizing with the hardware correctly, and that's how you're able to get unbeatable performance in video editing programs like Final Cut Pro, or Motion, or Compressor, or Logic. And yes, they have a bunch of apps on their App Store built specifically for professionals that can work really well, between Affinity Photo, DaVinci Resolve, or Pixelmator, apps that work really well with the hardware. And you're trying to suggest that because you load things, because you buffer things, or things are trying to process on a Mac, the approach is not get a faster computer or buy something with a better CPU or a better GPU. The approach is buy a Chromebook which can't do any of those things. That's the hypocrisy in this ad, is what a Pixelbook is good for, is going online. That's what Chromebooks are all built around, using Google Chrome. That's why they call it a Chromebook. Got it. All of the things your Pixelbook can do well, which based on Twitter, I've seen people say like, it's helpful for people who open lots of tabs. You open a lot of tabs, Chromebook's good for you. But then I also bring around a MacBook if I want to actually do some video editing. Your MacBook can handle Google Chrome. You don't need to buy a whole separate laptop just to have a browser, especially paying $1,000. And I don't want to hear, well, there are some places you can get it for $750. That's still too much. $500 would be too much. A $300 iPad has more optimized and more apps that you can download and utilize with the hardware than a Pixelbook offers. They're showing off how well you can draw on this thing with their $100 stylus. I know, it's not like Apple's much better, but at least you can charge it. You don't have to go to Walmart and buy some quadruple A batteries. And also, this thing just kind of works. It's expensive, but artists like the feel of it. Have you seen MKBHD's video on the Pixelbook? Have you seen how that pen handles on the screen? It's god-awful trash. It's literally garbage. Basically, Google's approach here is your computer can't get viruses if there's essentially no hard drive. The entire operating system is built on accessing the internet. And as John Prosser stated online, you want to complain about viruses, you want to complain about loading times on Macs and Windows. Google, you can have one fundamentally big problem with your Pixelbook. Hey, there's no internet available. I cannot use this machine now. Okay, look, I don't want to be completely mean to Chromebooks. There are cheap ones out there that are really great for students. They're great for classrooms. They're affordable. You can get them at under $200 from certain places. Yes, they're kind of cheap. My parents run a charter school. They have a ton of Chromebooks there for their students. They know that they're kind of crap and they can't really handle a fall. If a kid drops one, it pretty much dies. But what they appreciate about them is their affordability. You can type Google Docs, you can make Google Slides, you can do spreadsheets and stuff like that, do some web searching, and have kind of a mobile computer lab. And in those instances, Chromebooks are very useful, very helpful. They definitely have a place in the market. They've started out selling MacBooks, which totally makes sense given the average price of a Chromebook is about $300, average price of a MacBook about $1,400. So I understand why they're outselling, especially in the education market, but the Pixelbook disregards all that and says that, no, you can run the same Chrome OS on a $1,000 device, potentially $1,700 device, for something that doesn't even have adequate video editing software on it. That's literally running blown up Android apps on a laggy interface. Not to mention, are you ever using your MacBook and just saying, I wish this had more rubber on it? The base pads next to the trackpad of the Pixelbook are literally rubber. Go to your Best Buy. Look at the Pixelbook there. That rubber ages horribly. It's literally got dirt all over it. That's not intelligent. They got a big slab of glass on the top of the whole thing. What does it do? Nothing. It's just there so you can break it. Don't act like that's hypocritical. I don't like that the Apple TV remote has glass on it because it's very easy to drop and shatter. Let's not add unnecessarily glass just so that you can appeal to your aesthetic design wishes, because you don't need that on a laptop. There's no point to that other than it'll match our Pixel phone, so things they'll blend in together. This is just a very annoying marketing tactic to me, and what I would like more companies to do is focus primarily on your strengths. Don't necessarily just bash other people when you clearly are behind in certain instances. Samsung, yes, has plenty of advantages with their Galaxy hardware, but the iPhone definitely has its own hardware advantages between CPU, camera, optimization, stock experience of operating system, less digital assistant buttons, and that's why more people buy that product. So make ads that talk about why your product is good, not necessarily why everyone who bought this product is wrong and you just need to justify the people who bought your product that they are okay, they made the right choice, and they can make fun of all their friends. Google, Pixelbook's not selling. That's because you can buy a dozen other Chromebooks that are a fraction of the price that do 90% of the same stuff, and nothing is exclusive about Chrome OS. Nothing is exclusive about the Pixelbook, and that's why no one's gonna pay $1,000 for it. There are a ton of exclusive and unique things to MacBooks. That's why users are okay with spending the extra money on a MacBook Pro. Even if a PC may be cheaper and have better specs, the software optimization, the software exclusives help it out. With the Pixel phone, you can at least argue with me about the stock Android experience and the fact that the camera is really, really good. I'm like, okay, yes, it takes good pictures. You got me there. What do you got with the Pixelbook? There are literally Chromebooks out there that have rear-facing cameras and front-facing cameras, touchscreens that you can swivel into tablet mode, runs Chrome OS, and be cheaper than a Pixelbook. So you really got no exclusives. There's no reason for people to go out and buy that other than YouTubers that you may buy out. So I guess keep sending them to those people, but in terms of the market, there's a reason this thing is not selling terribly well. Acknowledge that. Don't just blame it on, do you have a PC? Do you have a Mac? That sucks. They suck. They're both terrible. Buy ours because we don't have any software that can go wrong, because we're just a Chromebook. We're just a literally Google Chrome. That's all we are. Calm down, talk about your advantages, and realize that when you're talking about the Pixelbook and you find out, what are our exclusive unique features? Dang, we don't have any. then there's something fundamentally wrong with the product. That's why your marketing team doesn't make any sense. Anyway, let me know what you think of this Pixelbook ad that we saw down in the comments below. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it, and hopefully companies can start to learn that marketing should be more about the benefits of the product, not necessarily, you suck, you all suck, everyone sucks, everyone's terrible. Ugh, it's honestly cringeworthy. This is your Apple Shape here, and I will see you in the next one.